I can tell you, I cannot sacrifice the truth for any political gain. I'll always say the truth. I'll always say the truth.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, currently the ODM party is crumbling. And the reason it's crumbling is because of the internal wrangles that are currently happening between the leadership of ODM and the parties that are there to become psychopaths and sing praises to the government of the day, which is the Kenya Kwanza administration under William Ruto, and the MOU signed by Raila Odinga, and those that are in opposition of what is happening within the government. And one key leader has been identified as the man behind all this fiasco that is currently happening within the ODM party. And that is James Agre Orengo. Now, with the current fiasco and everything that is happening, and with the statement given by Ramogi people, I mean the delegates that gave out a statement the other day condemning James Orengo and Edwin Sifuna, we thought that they had taken that mantle by themselves to address James Orengo and address Edwin Sifuna. But according to a statement that has been relayed today by one Raila Odinga, it tells us that Raila Amolo Odinga and James Orengo are not in good terms, and Raila is ready to throw his long-term brother, James Orengo, under the bus for the benefits that are coming with the MOU between him and President William Ruto. Now, before we get into everything, Raila Odinga and James Orengo disagreed the first moment that Raila Amolo Odinga made it clear to the ODM leadership that he has been given an option by the government to sign an MOU and to work with William Ruto. James Orengo disagreed with Raila Amolo Odinga. Reason being, James Orengo and Raila Amolo Odinga have walked the path of trying to seek the presidency since the year 2007. And now, for the first time in the history of the Republic of Kenya and in the history of the elections of Raila Amolo Odinga, he currently would have gained all the votes from the Mount Kenya region if he would have decided that he was going to vie for presidency. And James Orengo saw that Raila was, this was the last shot that Raila Amolo Odinga could have taken to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. But Raila refused to listen to Orengo and decided to do what? To sign the MOU with William Ruto. And that is why Orengo was missing even in the signing ceremony. Now, let's get down to the statement given by Raila Amolo Odinga today, so that you will understand why I'm saying Raila has thrown Orengo under the bus. Raila Odinga, statement on debate on current affairs in ODM. Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the party leader of the Orange Democratic Movement, is following the ongoing discussions on the relationship between the party and the Kenya Kwanza administration. He is also following the various interpretations of the Memoranda of Understanding with the United Democratic Alliance with keen interest. Mr. Odinga believes the discussions are not unique to ODM and are in line with similar such engagements that have gone on equally strong parties in established democracies. It is the position of the party leader that at the appropriate time, relevant organs of the party will harmonize the diverse views and come up with a harmonized position on the way forward. Mr. Odinga appeals to the ODM members and leaders to exercise decorum, civility, restraint, and respect for each other as they debate the current state of affairs and the future of the party. He assures members that the party will remain united and focused on matters of interest to the nation. Now, I will take kifungu kimoja from the said statement from Raila Amolo Odinga. Mr. Odinga appeals to ODM members and leaders, underlying leaders, to exercise decorum, civility, restraint, and respect for each other. When he says respect, decorum, and civility and restraint, he is directly referring to Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General of ODM, who has been on a rampage of discrediting the government of William Ruto. And Edwin Sifuna has refused to bend to the demands of the MOU for him to support the government. Also, in terms of respect and civility, he is pointing a finger towards one James Aggrey Orengo. Are we together? Reason being, Orengo refused to hold his horses during the burial of Raila's bodyguard George Oduor when he called the president openly and said that he is not going to become a present worship member of the Ruto's team, and he is not going to become a sycophant of Raila Amolo Odinga to push the agendas of Raila Amolo Odinga through the MOU. So for him, he will call the government into action because he fought for the democracy that the country enjoys today. So if he changes his tune, the country will go to the dogs. Those were the ones of James Orengo. Now Raila, through his fraternity and people around him, when these sentiments were made by Orengo, for the first time, disagreeing with the MOU since it was signed, he sent one governor of Omabay, Gladys Wanga. And that is why they organized those hooligans that you saw giving a statement the other day, calling upon Orengo and Sifuna to apologize to the president and Raila Odinga. Or what? More so, Orengo would be impeached. And as we speak, yesterday, we received intel that 30 MCAs from SIAYA County had convened at Chungwa House, which is the Orange House, where they were drafting the impeachment of Governor James Orengo. So it is clear when we thought that these people were speaking out of, psychopathy and following Raila and without Raila's knowledge, kumbe, these people were sent by Raila and Co. and the team to give a warning to James Orengo, to warn James Orengo to restrain and keep off from calling out the government, from calling out the leaders. Are we together? And this thing, it seems, it is not about Raila. These are orders from above. Because once somebody, they could assume somebody like Edwin Sifuna, because Sifuna is a politician in making. He is building up his portfolio. He is a one-term senator. But when it comes to James Orengo, this is a veteran. This is among the people that built up the ODM party alongside Raila Amolo Odinga. So with James Orengo speaking, that caught the attention of the president and his people and the cocoon surrounding him. And that is why it seems Raila Amolo Odinga was given an order, was pressured by the government to intimidate James Orengo and to force James Orengo into silence. Are we together? And that is why we are saying Raila has officially thrown James Orengo under the bus and claimed that he is not of James Orengo. He will continue working with Ruto and his people should continue singing praises to Ruto's government. Tunaelewana mpaka hapo? Now, from there, allow me to take you down to history. As we said earlier, there is a video we did. I explained to you the reason why, if it's not for James Orengo, Raila wouldn't be where he is. Why? In 1992, James Orengo for the first time beat Raila Amolo Odinga in polls, in election polls. And that was the topic on the Times then. Orengo beats Odinga in polls. In 1992, that is when the country, became a multi-party state. After fighting so much against Moi, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga and the team, Akina Kenneth Matiba akina Peter, akina Kiraito Murungi, akina Gitobu Manyara, akina Paul Mwite, they won against Moi and the country was declared a multi-party state. But Raila believed that then, in 1992, his father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, should have left him to become the flag bearer of the Ford Kenya party. That is the first time that Raila Amolo Odinga went against his father. And that is where the rumor that always comes in that Raila Odinga was cast by his father that he will never become a president came in. Are we together? Now, going forward, Raila Odinga and James Orengo from 1992, they became enemies. They were nemesis. Reason being, when Jaramogi Oginga Odinga failed to secure the presidency and he lost, he became number 4 by the way. Moi became number 1. Kenneth Matiba became number 2, where it is claimed that Matiba's win was stolen from him. Number 3 was Mwai Kibaki. And number 4 was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. And that loss for Jaramogi is what forced him even to an early death. Now, going forward, before 1997, it is believed that Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, according to the elders of that time, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga crowned his adopted son in politics, James Orengo, as the heir to the throne of the Luo politics. Are we together? And that is where the nemesis between Raila Amolo Odinga and James Orengo, ikamea mizizi. In 1997, after the death of Jaramogi, Raila Amolo Odinga went for the presidency. He vied for the presidency. And he vied for the presidency, but he lost. He became number 3 or 2. Raila lost to Moi. Now, Orengo was vying for MP. He was winning. Orengo was the champ. He was a charismatic Luo kingpin then. But Raila was pushing in. With the name that he held, the Odinga name, it kept pushing him towards the kingpinship, though the rightful heir and the man that was crowned was James Orengo. Fast forward to 2002. Raila Odinga, after joining Moi, he expected Moi would crown him the flag bearer of the KANU team. But Moi decided to pick Uhuru Kenyatta. And that is when Raila Amolo Odinga revolted against Moi. And he walked out of Moi's government with, half of the team. They joined the opposition then led by Mwai Kibaki, Charity Ngilu, Kijana Wamalwa, and Martha Karua. And they formed the NARC coalition, the NARC Kenya coalition, Rainbow Coalition, which went ahead to win in the year 2002. But on the other side, as Uhuru was vying through KANU, also James Orengo was vying for the presidency. And Orengo became number 3 in the said polls of the year 2002. Now, this nemesis, as it was going forward, Orengo realized if they stopped fighting between him and Raila and came together, they had a chance of winning the presidency. And that is when Raila inside Mwai Kibaki's team revolted in the year 2005 and they formed the Pentagon. With Orengo there, they formulated the ODM party. Ran for election in the year 2007 with the support of Orengo, Raila Odinga. Raila akaanguka. 2013 akaanguka tena. 2017 akaanguka tena. 2022 akaanguka. Now we are heading to 2027. James Orengo akaona 2027 there is a possibility, but Raila didn't see that. So that is where these two are parting ways. And on the other side, Orengo is the governor of SIAYA, and the senator is Raila Odinga's brother, Oburu Odinga. Oburu Odinga feels that if Orengo is removed as the governor or impeached, he has a chance to win the gubernatorial seat as the SIAYA governor come the year 2027. So that is why Raila Odinga is not sorry, because he knows that Orengo akitolewa, his elder brother will be the heir to the gubernatorial throne in Siaya County. Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo? And to add on the details and everything that is going on, I want to read to you a certain reaction by some two leaders. One is Kabado wa Kabado. Kabado says that in 1973, Sonu, UN President James Orengo has a track record. Guys asking him to be different are just being cheeky. Seasoned at battle-handed, Governor James Orengo, he of our Wangare Maathai Battalion to save Karura Forest, is amongst Kenyans bold blessed. Long live Jatelo. That is Kabado wa Kabado. Now, this tells you that Orengo has been on the forefront in fighting alongside. As Raila fought, Orengo was also fighting. Not that Orengo alikuwa amelala. And that is why it becomes a bone of contention when these people come with the motion of impeaching James Orengo, and Raila Amolo Odinga supports that. Now, the other person is the former IEBC commissioner, Dr. Roslyn Akombe. She says, Orengo was who we looked up to as student leaders in the late 1990s. He is the one who came through for us during the Karura and Katiba protest. The other guy was in bed with Moi at the time. Unasikia? Those are people that were there and people who know that although James Orengo is quiet, not that he hasn't been there, not that he doesn't know. He is among the fathers of the modern day democracy. And Raila Amolo Odinga, though he is there, you should also acknowledge that. Sieti James Orengo akiachana na Raila yeye kuisha. No. Orengo has the power by himself. Before 2007, Orengo was a force to reckon. Now that's what's up. I would really love to hear your thought in regards to that, to the current analysis. Achia maoni yako kwenye comment section and tell me what you think about Raila Amolo Odinga throwing Orengo under the bus. Subscribe.